Well, when it comes to Epic Universe, a lot of things are happening, and there is now a new marketing campaign from Universal that is promoting Epic Universe to assumingly a lot of people that aren't aware of it. I can tell you a good friend of mine that I had a conversation with the other day. He was telling me he was looking to take a trip down to Disney World, go to see some stuff, and I mentioned Epic Universe, and he had no clue as to what I was talking about. So sometimes, given that myself and many people watching this channel are very much aware of Epic Universe, still the general public doesn't necessarily know about it, which means Universal, of course, is going to roll out marketing campaigns to reach these people. And we do know that Universal had stated in their last earnings call how they were going to be having around $150 million marketing budget in terms of pre-marketing before the park opens, which is pretty much in line with major movies for the most part. And it seems that part of that is now they have some new commercials they have rolled out. And the timing of these commercials and when the marketing is really kicking off does make a lot of sense, as I figured, going into the holidays, that's when a lot of people obviously are getting together with their families and are going to make plans for their upcoming year or their summer vacations. So having this marketing campaign start rolling out now does make a lot of sense to reach those people as they're looking to make plans for next year. So Attractions Magazine has these ads in an article here, so I figured let's watch through them and see what they look like. And if it, I don't know, I guess some people watching this may not be aware of Epic Universe, so you can get an idea of it here. And for those of us that have been into it for a while, we can kind of see what we think about the commercials here. I actually haven't watched these yet, as I wanted to do kind of a live reaction to them and see what I thought about them. So that's what we're going to do here. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. And again, this is from Attractions Magazine, and this is a national advertising campaign. And it says it's begun with just over 6 months to go until opening day. Epic Universe TV commercials debuted on national airways November 11th, and the new theme park, of course, we know will open May 22nd, 2025. 3 commercials advertising the park come from iSpot TV, a database of video ads, blah, blah, blah. So according to the iSpot TV database, the ads recently aired on USA Network during Chicago PD, and Angel Has Fallen, as well as Bravo during The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I never miss an episode of. The Epic Universe overview commercial has aired less than 100 times nationally, and the others have aired less than 10 times. And the ads were developed by agencies TM Advertising and Spark Foundry. So I'm assuming that these will start ramping up more. I haven't seen any of these. Well, I haven't seen any of these yet, but I haven't seen any of these on anything I've been seeing, even like on YouTube. So I don't watch a lot of TV. But even on YouTube, I have yet to see them. But I am assuming they're eventually going to start doing, more ads on YouTube and that end of things as well. So we'll get into watching these ads here. So here's some screenshots from it. And this is the first one. I think this is a general one here.
Whoa, what is that?
What the heck is that?
Ana?
Come to me.
Me away?
5 immersive worlds. One amazing theme park. Our universe will never be the same.
Mia?
Oh, you gotta see this.
Epic Universe, only at Universal Orlando Resort.
I mean, I think it's a pretty solid ad. I think of theme park ads a lot of times, the old Disney ones where it was, about the going on the trips and the magical aspect of it. And those, I think, served Disney very well, especially during the 90s of those ads, like, can't go to sleep because they're excited for their trip. So I'm sure that's part of the thing they're going for here. Now I'm trying to look through and see if there's anything in here that perhaps we could find as little like snippets of the park that maybe they haven't talked about. I thought I saw, and maybe the first, this here with the fire drill boat ride. I don't think I've ever seen much in terms of animation on that. I mean, this is just going to be a very straightforward family boat ride, so there's no height limitations on this. And essentially, I mean, this is not a new ride, but it's a new ride, obviously, to Universal. But I haven't seen, this is the first time I've ever seen really anything showing that. But obviously, you're going to get on this. You're going to get very wet as you're going to be able to shoot other boats. And I'm pretty sure you're also going to be able to shoot the people that are in the boats from the, if you're outside the ride as well. And it's obviously shaped after a Viking ship. And I don't know, this scene, I guess you could have a hearty Viking meal and do a toast. So that's always a good time. I thought there was something else in... I mean, we know about the Mario Kart ride. At least, I mean, if you haven't, you can see lots of videos. This is a current ride that is in Hollywood and over in Japan as well. So there's nothing really new in this one. But I thought I saw... I mean, we do see the waterfall here. And that's the first time I've ever seen it be really animated on the Donkey Kong Country and Minecart Madness here. Obviously, the ride's really not going to fly, but it's going to give a sensation of jumping over gaps in the track. I think this one... Yeah, we look at the Dark Universe... I mean, obviously this is something animated, but that's supposed to be Frankenstein Manor. And we can get the animatronic there of the werewolf. Now, I don't know if the werewolf's going to really work like this. I mean, this could obviously be... It's a commercial, so it's a little bit exaggerated perhaps. But I guess technically, I doubt the animatronics will jump and move like that. But I suppose potentially is the case there. But we do know about this ride of being... You can see he's got the shoulder harness over. So the Monsters Unchained Frankenstein Experiment is a KUKA arm-based ride, which is the same ride system that the Forbidden Journey uses. So if you've ever ridden that, it basically has an arm, and the seats are on the end of it, and it moves in and out of things, and it uses the over-shoulder harness, which we can see here. So I doubt that animatronic that may just be an animation exaggeration. I guess you could call it that. But either way, they are very lifelike. And then you got the Dracula one here, which looks pretty cool. And I think that was really... Although, yeah, in the Harry Potter area, obviously we haven't known a lot of details about the battle at the Ministry here. So this is obviously that animated part there on that ride. And then this one I was interested in. I'm not super familiar with this. It looks like a rhino. Some of the Harry Potter fans might be able to point out to me exactly what that is, but that's an interesting tidbit, kind of a sneak peek at that ride perhaps on some level. So might have some little Easter eggs in these commercials that are be able to check out and take a look at more. So this one looks like it's a Dark Universe one here. So we'll check this one out.
But, I mean,
She's always saying stuff like that. That's the problem.
that's very true.
Come to me.
No. Josh, what are you doing? Josh!
Josh, come on, man. Just...
So my friend is in a
He got friend zoned. Man.
portal? Dude, where did you go?
You have got to go in there. It is so fun. You've got to go in there. You have got to see this.
Okay. What are those claw marks?
One of 5 immersive worlds in one amazing new theme park. Epic Universe, only at Universal Orlando Resort.
I mean, poor Josh got friend zoned right off the bat, but I mean, I like the idea of using the portals. I mean, obviously, it's a very unique aspect to Epic Universe and something we haven't seen in a theme park before. So they're bringing that into the marketing side, which I think is pretty cool. I think that's something that a lot of people that aren't aware of Epic Universe would immediately be drawn to, of like taking a portal into these lands. Now, I will say, I've said it numerous times. When I first heard about the Dark Universe, I can't say I was that excited about it. I've never been a Universal Monsters fan. I mean, I know of the movies, but I can't say I was, a fan of them. But the more I've seen of it and like the stuff they've released and even looking at this ad here, like this land, it might be a sleeper of, I don't know if it's going to top Super Nintendo World for me, given Super Nintendo and, Nintendo in general is like my childhood nostalgia. But this one, I could see perhaps getting up there in top, like the top 2, top 3 lands that I will end up enjoying. I love the aesthetics of it. And like, I love this black and purple, color scheme they got going on here. See if they got anything we can see. Obviously, they showed some. And again, it's hard to know with this because a lot of this is just going to be exaggerated a bit because of advertising. But you can see back here on the sign, it says Pretorius. I believe that's the name of one of the stores, Dr. Pretorius, I do believe. But again, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm not a big Monsters lore person, so I very well could be wrong here. And again, like the lighting at night. I mean, I'm assuming this is how it's going to look. So I love the idea of how that's going to look at night. We got the Burning Blade Tavern. And then this is animation, but you do have Frankenstein Manor, and this is the Darkmoor Village here. Now, this would be cool. I doubt they'll do it, but if they did have fog in here, like at night or something like that, that would be a cool effect. But I'm assuming a lot of this is just going to be for advertising purposes. And maybe there'll be a random bird fly through, who knows. But, I mean, that's a cool look at Frankenstein Manor. And I actually think that, I mean, the lighting effects up top there, how it looks like it's crackling, I think that's what it's going to look like at night there. So, and this looks like it's just, I'm guessing, around Frankenstein Manor there. And I suppose they could have a roaming Frankenstein. I mean, you know, we do know the one in the ride is like 9 feet tall. I think they said weighs like 800 pounds. So they could potentially have some sort of get up like we've seen with the Transformers meet and greet, where they have like Optimus, Bumblebee, and Megatron, where they're clearly like on some sort of exoskeleton type thing. I guess they potentially could do that within this land here and have Frankenstein walk around. But we do know he's in the ride itself. And then obviously this is inside, Monsters Unchained here, supposed to be, which we see, we just saw a clip of this on the last ad. And give us a little idea. I mean, it is going to move you around. This one, I mean, they have said it's supposed to be, the scariest ride they've ever done. A lot of jump scares, but that is and I like the effects of the, coming in and out of that portal. I think that's a pretty cool, visual like thing for the ads here. But that was a Dark Universe one. And they have a Wizarding World of Harry Potter one. And I think this one is 30 seconds. So we'll watch this one.
In the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, you'll explore multiple eras of magical thrills and wonder.
This is the biggest thing we've ever built.
There are shops and restaurants to explore, with nods to Fantastic Beasts throughout.
The show is mind-blowingly cool.
We have aerialists, special effects, puppetry, and so much more coming together.
You can just feel magical Paris surrounding you.
So this one was just basically the promotion video that they did a few months ago. It's just a snippet of that. And I do wonder when it comes to the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic, I mean, they probably have a lot more granular explaining to do a bit, because again, the land itself is based on, in 1920s Paris, off of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which, those books and those movies weren't nearly as popular as the original Harry Potter books and movies. So they probably are just trying to explain a little bit more what's going on here. Now, they didn't show anything about the Battle at the Ministry, I don't believe, which I kind of figured that's something they would show in some of the first advertising. But yeah, this is just, I mean, all the stuff about just kind of aspects of the land there. So I would assume they would have shown more about the Battle of the Ministry. But again, they're being very hush in terms of a lot of details on the Battle of the Ministry. But that is all they showed on that one. So I'm assuming there's going to be more TV ads. I will be curious to see what other types of advertising they do. I'm assuming they're going to do lots of digital advertising. Obviously, they're probably going to use influencers and people like that, of course, as everybody does nowadays. But I'm assuming this is just going to be the first of many different types of ads that they run. They showed the first general one shows a little bit off of each land, so I would assume they're also going to have commercials just dedicated to each land. They mentioned Celestial Park, didn't show anything about it, but given Celestial Park is an original IP, you don't have a built-in inherent fan base with that, so that may be something that they're not going to promote much, just because, they obviously use an IP because you have built-in audiences, so people that are into Nintendo are going to be interested in this park. Same thing with all these other properties here. So, I mean, I think the commercials are solid. I think the one that I'd say the weakest one would just be the Harry Potter one, just because they basically just took snippets off of the video they've already done before. So that one I think was the least imaginative one that they've done. But all in all, I think those are pretty solid commercials. Obviously, I haven't run very much. I'm curious. I'm assuming they're starting small, and then perhaps I'm going to assume as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas, these really start ramping up, and especially once you get into 2025, because obviously Epic Universe is very anticipated. There's a lot of people have already booked trips and are very excited for it, but there's a lot of people that I think will end up going that don't necessarily know anything about it, and to just bring it to their attention, putting it on their radar, whether they go this year or within a couple of years. And I think this is, again, their way of reaching out to these people and starting these campaigns in terms of, you know, they don't have the built-in, I guess you could say market share, but the nostalgia or the, I guess you would just say the cultural zeitgeist that Disney World has, because they built that over decades. So a lot of people, even if they're not into Disney, they still plan to go do Disney trips. And obviously Universal is trying to get to that level in terms of just, you know, having this be out there, something that people are aware of and bringing the attention to it. So I am curious if they have more videos or commercials that have a little bit more of the, not explaining really, but just going into more of the details, the really neat aspects of it on each land. It probably depends on where they're advertising this at. Obviously, you know, if you've got an audience that's into video games, you're going to display Nintendo stuff. Obviously, the Harry Potter stuff probably sells itself on some level, but given the way the land's set up, like a lot of the people that are into Harry Potter are going to know or be into Fantastic Beasts, but there's a lot of people that were into the Harry Potter movies that don't necessarily, you know, they didn't really follow Fantastic Beasts too much, so that could be something that they're going to try and reach out to get those people. And really, I think How to Train Your Dragon, kind of Vikings and dragons are kind of an easy sell, especially you've seen like Game of Thrones and things like that. So I think that land is one that's pretty marketable to, you know, the wide swath of people, as well as Dark Universe. I think Dark Universe probably has a pretty wide array of people that would be interested in that concept itself as kind of dark and spooky and a very different theme park land than most people are used to. I mean, I don't think there's been a land dedicated to this type of vibe or aesthetic that's been out there that I'm aware of. But given that these aired, I just wanted to take a look at them. And the general one, the first one, I probably would give that like, you know, it's a decent ad. I'd probably say like a B plus, okay, somewhere around there. The Dark Universe one, I think, is maybe an A. That one's pretty solid. I think the Harry Potter one, you know, maybe a C. Like it's not something that, you know, I think it's more of just, again, they just cut it from that promo video they did. It's, I guess you could call that the lazy one. I think that's the least sort of one that's going to entice people. I think that's maybe trying to bring awareness to that land more than anything. But I think those are pretty solid ads that have come out. I'm sure there will be more, and when they will do more, we'll watch them on here and check them out, because I'm very interested in this part of, you know, as Epic Universe wraps up its construction, and obviously looking forward to going there. I am curious exactly how they're going to market this, as we do know, again, that they have the $150 million marketing budget that they're going to use, and it'll be interesting to see how they deploy that. But that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what did you think about the ads here, and what grade would you give them? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.